Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the California Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 094-1504, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.005-8339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926, Heidi Slate Points, California DBO 1666881.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done. When you're in need and don't know where to go, pick up the phone and call mom.
So welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and we are live here on YouTube. I have got Danielle Whitney Moore, and you guys can ignore the Heidi Schlegel points. We've had 25 minutes of horrendous computer issues, so she is not on with us today, but Danielle is here. And if you guys want to see the beginning of the show, for some reason we were not streaming live to YouTube. We were only streaming to Facebook, so that is where we got started. But this is Mortgage Mom Radio, and what do? We bring you guys all the information, education, and advice that you need as a home buyer, somebody doing financing, looking to refinance your home, whatever it is that you need, we are here to help you in the real estate market. So I promised you guys last week that I was going to have one of my real estate agents come on and talk to us about what is going on right now in the market. And I think it's really important. So I did bring Danielle on. Danielle is amazing. If you guys have never watched our show before, please subscribe to our channel. It'd be fantastic. If you have questions, go ahead and throw those in the feed. We'd love to hear from you. We want you to ask your questions. Matt is going to interject, and he's going to read those to us loud. And I'm going to let the expert, Danielle Whitney Moore, answer those for you. But we want you guys to ask us those questions. So please feel free to do that. We are live at 5:26 on YouTube. 5:26-ish this week, just a little bit of computer problems. But so Danielle, thank you so much for joining me. The whole reason that I brought you here was that I promised everybody in my show last week that I was going to start bringing some experts on. So I was going to have a real estate agent on. I'm going to have an underwriter on. I'm going to bring an appraiser in. Things that people are starting to encounter that might be a little bit difficult right now in today's market. You know, we've seen some appraisals come in low because we've got some overbidding going on properties. We've got buyers that are trying to buy homes, but there's not a lot of inventory. We've got, COVID rules and things changing with guidelines and underwriting. So I'm trying to make our next, 2, 3, 4 shows just very interesting, information just full of it, right? And you have been doing real estate forever, I think, since you were in diapers.
Pretty much. Officially since 2005.
Yeah, so officially since 2005. So you actually got in, when things were great, all of a sudden the market tanks and then the market starts coming back. So you've really been through the cyclone of real estate. And one of the biggest questions that I'm getting pretty much on the daily right now from my listeners, and they're emailing me and they're calling me and they're getting on my calendar and they're asking me questions, and should I buy right now? Is it a good time to buy? I need closing costs. I'm talking to real estate agents that are telling me that I can't get any. I can't get my offer accepted because I have a VA loan. You should hear the things that are coming to me, and it's really quite amazing. So I thought, if you don't mind, I'm just going to kind of just start throwing things at you and say, Danielle, answer it. What would you say if somebody calls you and says, I'm a first-time buyer, I've never bought a home before, should I buy right now? Where would you go with that? What would be your answer?
I would say absolutely. The rates right now for most people are in the 2s. It's the lowest I've seen in my entire career. As a first-time home buyer, you're probably not going to get lower than this, and you're going to lock that in for 30 years. So it's a great time to buy. The market is pretty competitive right now, though, especially at the entry level. So there's a lot of things our team does to help get our buyers' offers accepted. One of them being we have our buyers write a letter to the sellers to kind of put a personal touch on the offer, where it's not just offer paperwork going over to the seller. So to tell their story and why it is they want to move into that neighborhood or to that condo complex and what they loved about the property. So that has helped us a lot. Another thing that's helped us is shortening down our time frames on things. So
You're welcome.
We really, yes. You do need to absolutely go with a lender that can help you shorten down your time frame. So the normal California contract says you get 21 days for your loan. We can do them, 12, 14 days for loans. Sometimes we'll do start to finish from beginning to closing in 14 days.
You're welcome.
So that's really important. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. That's really important for buyers. And shortening down your inspection time frame and things like that in your offers to help get your offer accepted, where you're not just doing price, but you're doing other things to make your offer appealing to the seller.
And I agree, Danielle. I mean, honestly, and I was just saying you're welcome. I'm just kind of messing around with you, but it's so important that the buyer is pre-approved before they get out there and they start looking for the home and they're writing offers with you. You need to know that everything is there, that file is complete, because we can't move that fast right now. And there's as many loans in the system as there are. At the end of the day, you're talking about the majority of your clients are getting interest rates in the 2s, and that is correct, especially on a purchase. But refinances are getting interest rates in that number as well. So think about how many people have never experienced that rate before, and they're all trying to jump on the bandwagon. So these poor underwriters and processors and doc drawers and funders, they are so buried in, just trying to keep up in their day-to-day, that if you've got everything in and you've got it done in advance and you're ready to go and we can shorten those time frames, you're definitely more appealing, even if you're not the highest offer, to a seller. If we can remove contingencies in 5 days, which we can do very easily because we've got everything up front and we've got underwriting moving quickly, that is so much better than not being able to remove the contingency for 21 days. And most people that are selling their home, they're probably going to go out and buy another house, right?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose her?
Oh,
there she is.
are.
Yeah. So what I asked you is, most people that are selling a home, they're going to probably go out and buy a home as well.
Right. Absolutely. So, everybody asks, a lot of clients ask, where do you see the market going with the COVID environment that we're in right now? And I do think we are going to see a decline in values, but is the decline going to be enough to where if interest rates go up, that it's going to make a big difference for people to wait to purchase later? Who knows? Because with interest rates, you're locking in that rate for 30 years potentially on a property. That most of the time is a way bigger difference than if you wait and prices drop and rates go up to 3.5%, 4%. I don't think that you're going to necessarily be in a better scenario.
Well, and you're not. And the piece that a lot of people don't really think about, they're thinking price of the home, right? So the most important thing to somebody is, I could buy it for $400 if I wait and property values drop, or I buy it today for $500 at today's rates. And what they don't realize is, at the end of the day, most people that are first-time buyers are coming in with very little money down. They're not doing huge down payments. And when you look at the interest that they will actually pay over the 30-year term between a 4% rate and a rate in the 2s, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on what that sales price is. So at the end of the day, you're still paying the same.
Right.
And you don't,
more.
or more, right? Even if you buy the house at a lower price. So it's something that a lot of people don't understand. And the, security of owning a home, nobody can tell you to move. It's yours. It's for your kids, future value, because even if property values come down, property values will go back up. That pride of homeownership, all of that stuff goes into that, your tax deduction and your property taxes and your interest and all of those things. That all gets also weighed in. But I don't think that anybody's actually sat down with an amortization calculator and actually put in $500,000 at 4%. How much interest will I actually pay for this house at the end of the day? That's really what you're paying for the house. It's not the price that you negotiated. Or $600,000 at 2.875. What am I paying for this house? And I think that a lot of people would be actually shocked to see that it's very similar, if not more, even if you can get that house at a lower price. So I think that that's fantastic. I'm really happy that you actually brought that up and you said that, because it's not actually something I've ever brought up on the show before.
Nice.
Yeah. That's why I brought you in, Danielle. All right. So another thing is, so you talked about people, writing offers to the seller, and, that's a great way to get your offer accepted so that, you know, they know who you are, you're coming in, you're a family. So what do you say to, I've had this call multiple times. I was really quite angry, to be honest with you, this week. I had a phone call from a vet, and he was writing an offer on a house, and his agent wrote the offer as a conventional, had him pre-approved with a different lender for a conventional loan, which didn't make any sense because obviously if I can do a VA loan, I can do a conventional loan. But, you know, basically had him pre-approved with another lender for a conventional loan to write an offer as a conventional when he has VA eligibility, and he was barely going to be able to scrape together his 5%. And when he came to me, he said, the only reason I got my offer accepted was because it was conventional, not VA, and they wouldn't have accepted my offer VA, and I can't do a VA loan. So I would love to hear you elaborate on that piece.
Well, we do a lot of FHA and VA loans, and a lot of agents, I think, shy away from them because they don't have the experience with them. An FHA or a VA buyer is the same essentially as a conventional buyer. We just have to make sure that the property is in livable condition. So we can have old carpet, old cupboards. We just can't have missing outlets, missing toilets, things like that. But for the majority of properties, it's not a problem to get them FHA or VA approved. And one thing we're doing with our clients right now, because the market is so competitive, if we see a couple minor things that are going to need to be corrected as a result of an FHA or VA appraisal, is we'll write in a buyer to pay for any FHA or VA appraisal related repairs. One of them is chipping and peeling paint that we come across often. And that's not a big deal. If you're going to get into a property and get it, and we need to spend, you know, $500 or $1,000 on touch-up paint and figure out how we're going to pay for that to get you this property, then I think let's put it in and let's try.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And what do you think to, you know, the VA buyer that might be feeling like they can't get their offer accepted because they're VA? What, you know, if somebody called you and said, everybody's telling me I've just got to go conventional, I can't use my benefit, what would you say?
Well, I'd say it depends on your price and terms, because a lot of times VA and FHA buyers are paying premium prices. So if we're in a multiple offer situation, and as a VA buyer, we're the highest price, we have shortened our contingencies down to like 7 to 10 days. We're going to close the deal in 14 to 20 days. A lot of times we can get sellers to take those offers just as they would a conventional offer. The seller is getting the same at the closing anyways, depending on what the price is.
Right. I love that. Thank you. Because I absolutely, I think that our veterans, they have served for our country and they deserve to use their benefit. And for anybody at all that is telling them that they can't or they shouldn't or they won't get their offer accepted, it just irritates me beyond, because I feel like they've earned that right, you know, to get that zero down. You know, if you are not a veteran and you live in LA where you can't get a USDA loan. So, I mean, yes, if you want to move out to the sticks, we'll get you a USDA loan with 100% financing. But if you don't want to move out to the sticks and you want to live in LA, or you want to live somewhere in Southern California, Riverside, San Bernardino, LA, Ventura, you know, you name it, San Diego, we're not getting you guys a USDA loan. So, you know, if you're a veteran, you've earned that right to be able to buy that house with zero down. And I got to tell you, as a lender, and I hope that other real estate agents are listening right now, you know, the conventional guideline before, where it used to be that a conventional loan was so much easier when it came to the appraisal and the repairs and everything that got called out, it's really not significantly different anymore. We still have health and safety issues for a conventional loan that we still have to make sure that we're taking care of. So, you know, for a buyer to be told that they can't use their VA eligibility, that it just absolutely drives me crazy. And if you're a VA buyer out there and you want to use that eligibility, you need to work with a realtor that understands what your situation is. Yes, you're coming in, you're putting zero down. Yes, it's a little bit more risk for the seller, but an agent like Danielle knows what she's got to do to be able to get your offer accepted, even if you're in a multiple bid situation with other real estate agents and other offers on the table. So one thing, Danielle, that I've actually seen, and I want to get your take on this because it's brand new. I swear to God, in 25 years that I've been doing this. So I started in 94, so I've got a little time on you, even though I think I look just as pretty. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so but one thing I have never seen in the history of my career, and this is new for me, is I've been seeing offers come in and then the counteroffer. And the counteroffer is always kind of like the tell-all of what's going to really happen in this transaction. And these counteroffers have been coming in saying, that the buyer agrees to pay up to a variance of X amount of dollars towards the difference between the price of the home and the appraised value. So I've seen 35,000. I saw one as high as $75,000 that the buyer was willing to bring in cash between the variance of the actual sales price and the appraisal. Have you been encountering that? Have you been seeing that as well? Because I've now come across two, and I know that doesn't sound like very many, but it's been within the last week and a half. So it is definitely something in 25 years I've never seen, and all of a sudden in a week and a half, I've seen two of them.
We have, and I don't do that on my listings. I actually kind of highly recommend against it, because putting that in a contract, the appraiser is getting a copy of the contract. So that is already a red flag that the value on this is going to come in substantially lower than what the buyer has already offered on the property. So I don't recommend that. A lot of times with FHA and VA, we cannot waive the appraisal contingency. So we just got one accepted. We have a buyer together that got accepted, and it was a multiple offer situation, and she's an FHA buyer, and we can't waive the appraisal contingency. So I think what I like to do with you, I call it the 1-2 punch. I talk to the agent, and it's a matter of not only presenting your offer, but it's relaying to the agent that you have a strong team behind you, especially with your loan officer and lender. So I send a nice email. I'll usually talk to the agent over the phone. Then I send an email. You always email back. So I think it's all about the communication too, and making the agent and the owner feel comfortable with the team and the buyer that they're going to be proceeding with in a transaction.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. And I've actually kind of been floored. I mean, a year ago, even 6 months ago, it was actually very common for me to see that there was an appraisal contingency waiver. And even on VA and FHA deals, because I mean, really, the market was obviously going up in value, but it wasn't going leaps and bounds like it is today, which we'll talk about here in a second. Why is it doing it? But it wasn't doing what it was today. So even if this house sold for a little bit more than the last house, I mean, we're talking couple of $1,000s, maybe 5 or 10 at the most, right? So even with a VA or an FHA buyer, if they've got a little bit of extra savings in the bank and they really, really wanted that house, they might be willing to bring in the difference between the contract and the actual appraised value. But right now, I'm just seeing these extremely large, I mean, huge, significant differences between what the buyer's willing to bring in and what the appraised value might be. And that piece of me kind of wants to cringe a little bit. It's kind of, to me, it's scary. And, I don't understand. Is it that important to the buyer's agent to get that person's offer accepted to think that they should pay $35,000 to $75,000 more than what the last house model match cookie cutter situation in Southern California should be? That's the piece that bothers me too, right?
We recommend going to go find something else, because we're not going to recommend for one of our clients to pay $100,000 over what we think the value of the property is going to be.
Right.
We can go something else and, move on.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. It's kind of like making my brain stir. I'm like, oh my goodness. But obviously, everybody that's listening to the show, number one, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. Put them in the feed. Matt will read them out loud. We will answer them for you live. If you guys want to, give us a call. If it's Saturday morning, you guys are listening on Go Country 105, give us a call and make an appointment. Get on my calendar. Let's talk. Danielle, I haven't even let anybody know who you are, or what you're doing, or what your telephone number is. So this is Danielle Whitney Moore. She is with Keller Williams. And Danielle, let's get your scoop. Let's get your telephone number, where you're located, how long you've been there, what you're doing for a living. So let's talk about Danielle and everything about Danielle here for a second.
Started real estate back in 2005. I actually have my broker's license as well. I do have a team. Our team is Team Whitney. Our team was actually started by my dad back in 1980. He sadly passed away in 2018. He had cancer and died at the age of 59. And I took over the team at that time, and I've been working with him for all of those years. I have some great team members, one of them being Lauren Yee on my team, who's kind of my right-hand woman, who's not here with me today because she's due with baby any minute now.
Mortgage Mom Radio, there it is.
Yep, Mortgage Mom Radio, here we go. My cell phone number is 310-987-9103, and then my email is Danielle@teamwhitney.com. And then our website is also teamwhitney.com.
I love it. Thank you so much. So anybody that is listening or watching, if you guys, I can't tell you, I've been working with Danielle and her team for many, many years now. Can't even count on how many fingers. I knew Dad. I was part of that whole, the whole business. And she's just been absolutely amazing. And I've never had to ever question one time if I've referred somebody to her, whether or not they're going to get taken care of and whether she's going to make sure that they understand everything that they're getting into, signing the right forms, writing the contract the right way. I mean, truly just amazing. And Lauren is awesome. I love Lauren. I love Des. I love everybody you guys have working for you. But, if you're out there and you guys are listening to me and you've been thinking about, needing a real estate agent. So Danielle, let's talk about where you're at, where you're located and what areas that you work.
So we're mainly the South. Our office is in Rancho Palos Verdes. So we work anywhere up to El Segundo area down. I'm actually going to Carlsbad for an inspection tomorrow. So we really just go where our clients go. We've sold properties up in Big Bear this last year, some in the Palm Desert, Palm Springs area. So it's kind of where our clients go. But our primary area is like the Long Beach, San Pedro, Rancho Palos Verdes, Torrance, Redondo, this area right there.
Very nice. Team Whitney, you guys, literally check it out. Go to Google, put it in, Team Whitney, you'll find her. Matt's waving at me. What you got, Matt?
We got a comment from Houseboat Billy. Says, hello, ladies. Loving the hair, Debbie. Taking hot mortgage moms to a whole nother level. Where is the other mortgage mom? It's okay, though. My favorite one is still on.
Thank you, Houseboat Billy. I love it.
And Denise says, very sorry to hear about your dad. I have worked with you and your dad in the past. Very professional services you provide me make me feel comfortable. Thanks.
So that was for you, Danielle. Thank you so much, Houseboat Billy. And Danielle, I'll let you give your thanks.
Yes, thank you, Denise, very much.
Yeah. So Houseboat Billy, you like my hair? I did it again. I promised last week I would do it another week in a row. So the other mortgage mom was on with us when we actually got started, but we were having computer problems. That's why we got started late today. Everybody that is listening on Saturday morning on Go Country 105, you guys, if you want to watch us do it live, and trust me, it is live. We mess up, we stop, we restream, we get going again. We do the best that we can, and then obviously we take all of the sound and from the feed, and we create the Saturday morning show. But if you guys want to watch us, it is live at 5 on YouTube. You can watch us on Facebook as well. And I'm really hoping one of these days that I'm going to get a streamer from Twitch to actually start watching and buy a house. So those are 2020, my goal is to find a follower on Twitch. I'm just saying. But anyway, thank you so much for watching Houseboat Billy. Appreciate it. And Denise, thank you so much for the comment. And Danielle, honestly, you and your team are amazing. You guys really just do such a great job. And I wouldn't have reached out to you and said, hey, can I get you on, after I promised everybody that does listen to me that I would have an expert on. I'd have a real estate agent on to talk about the market this today and the market this year and what's going on, and tips and tools and tricks and advice. And I really, really appreciate it very much that you're here. So you guys, Danielle Whitney, Team Whitney, Google her. You will find her. You guys want her number, you can call. I will make sure that I give it to you. You guys can text her direct. I mean, she's awesome. I don't even know if you use an office number. I feel like everything is sell with Danielle.
Yep.
She's old school. She's like, yep.
Yes.
Call me direct. Okay, so where I was actually going before we kind of got into that, I had to explain who you were and what we were doing. I mean, we got to stop every now and then, right, and remind everybody. But we were talking about appraisals coming in high and contracts and appraisals coming in low. So what are you doing right now? So obviously the people are writing offers. You're going to pay more than the list price. You're going to remove your appraised value. And these are kind of some of the tips and tricks that a lot of other real estate agents are doing to try to get their offers accepted. I have not seen you do that in your contracts, which is amazing. So you've already given us one tip, which is, write a letter to the seller, explain why you love their house, why you need to have it. You've given another tip, which is, hey, reduce your contingencies, shorten up the term of the underwriting and appraisal and closing. Let's close in 21 days. Let's not do 30. Do you have any other tips and tricks of advice that you can give right now for somebody that is in the market trying to buy a house? We've got limited inventory. Prices are going up. It's a battle to get the offer accepted. Do you have anything else that you'd say is a special Team Whitney,
Well, on that letter, I'll add, we do have them add family photos so that it does completely personalize it for that seller that is reviewing their offer. Another thing our MLS just came out with recently is coming soon listings. So we have all of our clients obviously set up for MLS searches that we review every day, and we'll call them when good things hit the market. The coming soon listings are only available to agents to see. They do not go out to realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. So we've actually kind of gotten a head jump start for some of our clients by going through those coming soon listings and being ready to go for specific properties that we already know that they're going to be very interested in. So that is another tip that hopefully everybody's agents are paying close attention to those coming soon listings to get a jump start. Because a lot of those now are gone on day 0 or day 1. As soon as they hit the market, they have an offer and it's already sold.
Okay, so I have a question about that because I've never actually heard about that before. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm busy doing loans, right? I'm not in the MLS. I'm not watching it. So when somebody actually calls you up and says, this is the criteria that I'm looking for, and you put them into the kind of MLS drip system where they start to get the automated emails, do they get those automated coming soons?
Only if it's set up correctly in the MLS system. So hopefully their agent is looking at those listings for them, because those will not go out. Everything basically pulls from our MLS to realtor.com, Trulia, Zillow, Redfin, etc. So those coming soon listings are not going out to the other portals until they are officially active. And we're allowed to list listings now for 21 days as coming soon before they're active on the market.
21 days?
You can have coming soon. And it's basically you are not allowed to have showings during the coming soon status, but you can put it on the market because everything is required to be put in our MLS within 24 hours of signing a listing agreement. So if I take a listing, I went on a listing appointment right before this, for example, we're getting the property ready for market. It's going to go in the MLS as coming soon. We have 21 days to finish our repairs and upgrades before we're going to do showings. We can put it on sooner if we would like, but we are getting a lot of jump starts for our buyers by looking at those coming soon listings and getting them ready to see it like on day 0 that it hits the market on the MLS. We're getting in there. We already know we're going to be submitting an offer. If we have any other paperwork we need to get to you, we get it to you so that we are literally ready to go to get our offer in this competitive market that we're in right now.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I mean, I'm just thinking, you know me, I'm kind of a thinker outside of the box. So if I was a buyer right now and I was trying to find a house and I really liked a house that came up that was a coming soon and you showed me all of the information about it, would I be able to possibly write an offer subject to inspection?
Yes, we are also doing that. So you cannot show the property during the coming soon status. But yes, we have submitted offers basically subject to interior inspection. And what that means is we'll put a clause in the contract that just says offer subject to buyer's interior inspection within 5 days after acceptance or 7 days. We'll find out from the agent when it's actually going to go live, and we have to put it when it's actually going to be live. But we have done that and already got our offer in with our terms and everything. But a lot of buyers are saying properties are going like this really fast. You blink it in the blink of an eye. And I think it's also has to do with this coming soon status that agents that are paying attention and bringing these properties to their buyers' attention are getting all their ducks in a row before it even is going to go live on the market. So the buyers that are just kind of out there looking on Redfin, Zillow, Trulia, they're not seeing any of these coming soon properties.
Danielle Whitney Moore, I love it. Oh my goodness. You bring me, I swear I knew nothing at all about this coming soon. I mean, you'd think I would hear stuff about it just being in the, industry and everything. Never heard it before. I'll tell you what, if I was a buyer in the market right now and I was trying to get a jump start on getting an offer accepted, because it is hard. I mean, I do want you to talk a little bit about what is going on in the market, because that was the one thing that I promised with this. And I've been asking you a ton of questions, and I'm going to keep asking you a ton of questions, and we'll probably go over an hour or whatever. I'm a talker, but I tell us what is going on in the market right now, because if I was a buyer trying to get a house right now, I can tell you from what I've seen, I'd be writing offers subject to inspection and hoping that I got the offer accepted and I could get kind of backdoor it and get it done before it ever hit the market. And then I'd go in and look at it and see if I liked it. But what is going on with the market right now? Why is inventory low? What is your take on all of this? I know what my opinion is, which obviously that's just a mortgage mom opinion, right? But what's your opinion? What are you seeing from realtor versus lender?
Well, inventory is low right now because a lot of people have decided to keep their homes. For example, during COVID times, some people are not comfortable with people going in and out of their houses. So inventory is low right now. So that's kind of what is creating our multiple offer situation, along with the fact that interest rates are so low right now, especially in the entry level market. I'd say anywhere up to 900 to $1 million purchases in LA. Those are all flying off the shelves if the properties are listed correctly, just because everybody's trying to get their foot in the door with these interest rates that are in the twos right now. And I do think eventually we are going to see a decline in the market because of the COVID environment that we're going through right now. But like I said before, I don't know if rates go up that you're going to necessarily be in a better situation to wait to buy when the prices go down a little bit versus buying now and locking in your rate in the twos for 30 years.
Yeah, well, even at a lower interest rate, the monthly payment's going to be about the same. And what you're going to pay in interest over the term of the loan is probably going to be more. So even if you can secure that house at a lower price, in all reality, and obviously I'm in a studio, I'm not running numbers, so there's nothing that I can throw at this to say this is hardcore evidence, or you gotta take me for exactly what I'm saying. But in my opinion, I would say that if we end up at a higher interest rate, even a lower price, at the end of the day, at the end of your 30-year term of taking this financing on, you're probably paying more for that property than what you would today, even if property values did drop. And those low interest rates is just something that's just been phenomenal and unheard of. So I can definitely see where that is creating a massive push for people to wanting to buy homes. And, the inventory I can understand with COVID, people not wanting to come through, and see, not wanting to show their homes, not wanting to go out and look at other homes, where typically you'd have people marketing a home for sale and then turning around and buying a home. They're not wanting to go out and do all of that, that interaction. So maybe they're just going to sit tight and stay a while, So,
and I think we're seeing a lot of remodeling right now too because of that. So people are taking that $15,000 they saved for the European vacation and they're adding the pool in the backyard or whatever. So I think we see a lot of remodeling and add-ons right now. We have a lot of families that have decided to move in together and buy a bigger property and do that kind of thing. A lot of people moving from condos to single family homes. So it's not our normal shift in the market that we're used to throughout our careers, that we've seen the ups and downs of the market. We in our careers have never seen a COVID environment like this, where we have a mass pandemic that we're dealing with throughout our real estate cycle.
It's new.
It,
it's new.
I was excited my whole face of makeup for this instead of just half.
Right? Well, I got to tell you, so my new thing is last week, and that's why Houseboat Billy made a comment. So last week I finally did my hair and put on makeup for the show. If you go back to all of my previous YouTubes, I've been with my hair in a bun, wearing a sweatshirt, no makeup on, just totally 100% raw, right? And so finally last week I actually did my hair and I was like, okay, I've got to probably start doing this. And I put some makeup on last week. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Once a week, I'm going to make myself do this because it's, you get kind of comfortable in your sweats and your hair in a bun. And I mean, I brush my teeth every day. I can't say that I'm, doing anything else every day, but I'm brushing my teeth. So, it is, COVID's a whole new thing. And, we're all learning as we go. And it'll be very interesting to see where things do end up leading to. I do think that we will probably see a drop in the market. I agree with you. Absolutely 100%. I do think we'll see interest rates go up at the point that we start to see property values drop. Obviously, it just is what it is. It's just kind of that cycle of the real estate market. So we could be wrong. Neither me or Danielle have a crystal ball, and we could absolutely be wrong. And, that may not happen. Property values could drop and interest rates could stay low, and that could absolutely happen. I wouldn't foresee it, though.
Yeah, in real estate, really, we're buying that for the long haul. So your goal, what I tell all of our investor clients and our clients, is you want to own as many doors as you can by the time you retire. So you buy a fourplex, there's 4 doors. You buy a single family home or a condo, there's an extra door. So you're in it for the long haul, not the short haul for real estate normally. And over time, values have always went up in real estate. You will see the ups and downturns of the market, but they always do eventually go up.
Oh, yeah. And when you're talking about the long haul and you're talking about 30-year terms and financing, which is basically kind of the norm, an interest rate at, in the twos, 2.875 or 3% is totally different than an interest rate in the fours and the fives and the sixes. We're really talking about the long haul.
Right.
So yeah, I can absolutely see why the houses are flying off the shelves. I can see why there's not a lot of inventory. That makes absolute sense. I love all of the tips and advice and tricks that you gave us today. Anybody that is listening that didn't, tune in when we first got started, please go back and watch. Check out our YouTube channel if it's Saturday morning and you're listening and you guys missed a part of the show. Go to YouTube, go to Mortgage Mom Radio, listen. Danielle, Team Whitney is amazing. She had some great things to give us today. If you guys want to and you love podcasts, that's your thing. Go back and watch, listen to the podcast. You can find us anywhere at all where podcasts are. You can find us. iTunes, Twitch. I'm going to say Twitch again. I swear to God, I'm going to find a Twitch follower. But iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, all those different places to listen to your podcast. You guys can find Mortgage Mom Radio. I can't say it enough. Danielle is amazing. She's in the heart of LA. She's doing it from Carlsbad all the way to the Valley. So if you guys need any help whatsoever, I cannot suggest enough that you guys call Team Whitney. I started, with them many, many moons ago. Like she said, her dad started the team. She started working with her dad in diapers. That's how I got started. My parents were in real estate. I started in diapers behind them. And that's where you really get your good people. And it's the ones that grew up in it, that it's kind of just ingrained and it's what they know. And, you're Danielle, you're absolutely amazing. So obviously I have you on speed dial on my phone. I don't have you in speed dial in my memory. So give everybody that telephone number again.
It's 310-987-9103.
I cannot suggest enough, if you guys have been thinking about buying or selling a house, that you do call Danielle or Team Whitney. They're fantastic. Really, I can't say it enough. You guys have questions for Danielle, you couldn't get her telephone number, please call me. I'd be more than happy to give it to you, get you all connected. I'll even schedule the appointment for you if I need to. If you guys have questions for me, obviously you guys can always call the office and make an appointment. It's 661-349-8300. That is the direct office line, or you guys can call the toll free. It's 844 We Lend for You. That is LEND and the number 4. So Matt's making appointments. He'll make an appointment even for Danielle if you need it. And we hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend. Danielle, do you have anything else that you want to say to wrap up the show? Anything I didn't hit? Anything that you think is important for people to know? Want to give you your time.
I think you covered it all, besides the fact that I have also worked with you for many years, and she is a domino lender, meets all of her time frames. She's bent over backwards to close some deals for our clients early. Deb is awesome to work with, and I highly recommend her to anybody that's listening to go with Mortgage Mom.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love you guys. All right. Well, I hope that you guys all have a fantastic weekend. You're going to call Danielle. She's going to give you her number one more time.
310-987-9103, and that is my direct cell phone. So
that is right.
I do have a 4-month-old, so if I don't respond to you right away in the wee hours of the night, I will get back to you.
She is a real estate mom, but I don't know anybody that is more of a beast than Danielle, and I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I mean, that is coming from the Mortgage Mom. I'm telling you, real estate mom, beast, Danielle Whitney Moore. Text her, seriously, and she will get back to you, and she is pretty ferocious. You guys, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend if you're listening Saturday morning. If you guys watch this on YouTube, like Denise and Houseboat Billy, we love that. If you guys are listening on Saturday and you want to be able to ask questions, tune in live on Wednesdays, live at 5 on YouTube. Subscribe to the Mortgage Mom Radio channel and turn on your notification button. Click that little bell so that you guys know when we do go live. Danielle, we were going to definitely have you on again. You've been amazing. I thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Deb. Looking forward to it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.